Hi everyone, Todd here. Before we get started in today's episode, we here at Debate This wanted to take a second to recognize the passing of Chadwick Boseman, aka the Black Panther here in the Marvel universe that we talk about pretty frequently. Before he was the Black Panther, or in the process of being Black Panther, he's also played roles such as Jackie Robinson, James Brown, and Thurgood Marshall. We here at Debate This cast know how big of a loss this is and wanted to take a second to wish the best and tell that, that Chadwick's family is in our hearts and our thoughts, along with his Marvel family and all those that he has touched as he now gets to rest in power. With that, before we get on with the episode, we just wanted to leave you all, the listeners, with a Black Panther quote of his that we feel really resonates with this moment.
Wakanda will no longer watch from the shadows. We cannot. We must not. We will work to be an example of how we as brothers and sisters on this earth should treat each other. Now more than ever, the illusions of division threaten our very existence. We all know the truth. More connects us than separates us. But in times of crisis, the wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after one another.
Hello and welcome to Debate This, a show where no one is right but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how I was 100% right that a pair of scissors ended up being a Paper Mario boss because I am very smart.
I mean,
ooh, look at the big brain on Todd.
it wasn't like it was a very good guess. Like, it was a very obvious but very good guess.
No, I remember recording that and you all saying, no, Todd, it's not gonna happen. And I was like, guys.
I don't really remember it going that way. I mean, that's like saying that the sun will rise next Saturday.
Right,
It
yeah.
probably will.
Yeah, there's no way any of us disagreed with you.
Yeah.
Maybe
know.
ridiculed you for making such an obvious guess, but
Todd, do you just need the validation this week? Is that all?
well-
Like, do
well-
you just need us to be like, yes, Todd, great job. You were very smart and correct.
I'm just a few weeks past beating Paper Mario because I beat it in like the first 48 hours of owning it, and I just need to feel joy after that game because it left me wanting. So
well, we're out of that.
Yeah, we're fresh out.
No joy here.
No joy here.
So video games are pretty wild, right?
Wow, great segue, Todd. Really,
You like that?
really just nailed it down.
Without
Todd
missing
Thomas,
a
king
beat.
of segues.
Well, hey, so since we're talking about how wild video games are, I mean, think about it. Whether in a video game you're fighting an ancient evil, or becoming a professional athlete, or working hard to pay off your home loan after a few days of hard work collecting bugs or fish, or really anything else that is just unbelievable. We play video games as some sort of form of escapism from everyday lives, and guys, this got me thinking. Mario's really just been like living a totally normal life for decades, and then out of nowhere just ends up fighting these horrifying monsters while trying to do his normal 9-to-5 day job.
Is he doing his day job though? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
I've never seen Mario perform any actual plumbing repair.
I've never seen Mario plumb anything.
Too busy fighting monsters.
Mario comes across as like he got his license, but he hasn't really like taken the jump on starting the business yet.
I mean, like, he was just trying to be a normal physician, and then was like, I need to use Tetris physics to beat these monsters. Like, just trying to live his life.
He passed the bar and then never went into practice, is the metaphor.
Not to argue Dr. Mario, but I heard a funny thing recently where it was like, Dr. Mario is really not a doctor. He's more of a pharmacist because all he's doing is it's just like really funny.
That's pretty good.
Pharmacist Mario just isn't as good for branding. Like, that doesn't market
It doesn't
as well.
roll off the tongue.
No.
Fun fact, my brother who is a pharmacist is a Dr. Mario main
Oh, there you go.
in
That's
Super Smash Bros.
There, it's full circle.
Full circle.
well, okay. So today I thought we'd have a fun thing you know how we do fun things here, and I want to put each of you into Mario's overalls, not literally but figuratively. So
Todd wants to play dress up.
yeah. So okay. So here's what we're gonna do today. I didn't get any memos from the guys upstairs. I didn't get any call-ins. Yeah. So I just want to talk about how to make reality weird. And so so for you today, I want you in detail to tell me what Mario boss you think would be the absolute worst to experience in real life at the end of your workday. You know? So with this, because Mario's just going through his workday, and then suddenly, boom, piranha plants that shoot fire and shit. So anyway, with this thought process, helping me today with this brain exercise that is very well thought out, is Andrew Balls of Chaos Henderson, Kyle Chocolatiers Harper, and Matt Midnight Wisps Cole.
I really like Midnight Wisps. I'm kind of into Midnight Wisps.
Midnight Wisps is incredibly good.
Yeah, so these are all professional marble racing teams because I'm slowly accepting that fantasy football is canceled in the fall and drastically trying to find other things to bring joy to my life in the sports world.
Hey, there's always baseball.
Well, it's on a hiatus right now. It's taking a break
sure.
before season 4, whatever it's on.
They have to reset the server.
Hashtag Blazeball, everyone.
Yeah.
So, since existence is pain, guys, let's go and find some ways to pretend it could be worse. And so, okay, play with me in this headspace.
Oh boy.
You are a mild-mannered plumber, kart racer, tennis pro, soccer pro, golf pro, doctor, and you're just living your life. You're doing your thing. And, you know, you've gotten to the end of your level, your track, your match, your doctor's appointment, and suddenly you are faced with some nightmarish monster. Tell me, what is this eldritch horror that you now find yourself staring down? And specifically, give me some history about, you know, what Mario game it's from. Let's go ahead and start with Andrew.
Speaking of balls of chaos, this topic is just full of balls of chaos.
We dug deep into the list of, like, cool ideas. We're like, that one. It's time.
Yeah.
Well, you said it in the Discord today, Todd. Like, 6 months ago, we planned out all of the content for the year.
Yeah.
We were, at this point in time...
We were so optimistic.
Listeners, at this point in time, you would have gotten some hot, good Black Widow content. You would have gotten some Falcon and the Winter Soldier content. You would have gotten some WandaVision content. But no, you get this, you get some B-cuts, some B-sides right now.
We're getting to the point that we also would have been talking about the Monster Hunter movie, which is very funny to me. Mm-hmm. So Todd.
Yes, Andrew.
You know how I'm going to give you a very common scenario, one that I'm sure you yourself, Todd Thomas, has found himself in several times.
Sure.
So you know how like you're walking down the streets of your desert village that's populated and designed exclusively by skeleton men with the Dia de los Muertes aesthetic, and then you think to yourself, "Gee, I'm a little cold in this desert village that's populated and designed exclusively by the Dia de los Muertes skeleton."
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
And you're walking along, and as you think to yourself how cold you are in this very much of a desert world, that seemingly endless sand, you walk right into, smack right into a 26-foot tall spire of ice that's just erupting from the sand below. You know how like that happens?
Yeah.
This is my favorite Welcome to Night Vale episode.
No, this sounds pretty familiar. I mean, Mondays, am I right?
Womp womp. Well, as it turns out, I don't know if you know this, but building-sized spires of ice are actually not native to most desert climates. But Todd, we know you're a man of science, and so you would naturally surmise that something must be going on. So, of course, you go and investigate the giant inverted pyramid that can be seen floating in the distance and think to yourself, well, gee golly, something fishy must be going on here.
I would look at it and think something is certainly awry.
I like the implication that Todd has to be a man of science to recognize that a 26-foot spire of ice is abnormal.
Yeah, well, the rest of the Dia de los Muertes skeletons aren't going to do that.
They're just really not helping anyone.
Yeah, they're just hanging out having a good time. So as you approach the site of the pyramid, you see a sinkhole with an icy fog permeating all around. And since the pyramid is also pointing a gigantic laser beam at the sinkhole, obviously you hop right in.
Yeah, that feels right.
And inside the massive ice cavern, you come face to face with the most video game boss known to man. a gigantic head looking like the host of the Legends of the Hidden Temple with disembodied hands that are ready for some smashing. But my friend, you have eyes on those jewels that are set in the backs of its hands and are 100% confident that you've identified its weak points. It's time to go.
Is Old Black the host
Okay.
of Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't it
he's like
Olmec?
Olmec, not Oblek.
Olmec, sorry.
he's like the avatar. He's the avatar of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
He's like the color commentator. Like, he's just there for
Yeah,
flavor.
Yeah.
He's the John Madden of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
You know, getting more silver monkeys will help you win the game.
Andrew, does this thing have a name that you're describing to me?
So I'm describing to you Nucleotech
Oh, good, that one.
from Super Mario Odyssey, the
What a
final
good
boss.
name!
It's such a good name. The final boss of the Sand Kingdom, one of the best levels in Super Mario Odyssey, and he is an ice deity. And when I say he's a video game boss, he is a head and hands. He's a head and hands
with very prominent weak points.
with very obvious weak points.
Every time, and like I don't type the word Odyssey a lot, but every time I type the word Odyssey, I am instantly reminded I don't know how to spell the word Odyssey.
It's a mess of Y's and S's, just Y's and S's all the way down.
Is there two D's? There could be. I know there's not two D's and two S's.
We'll never know. So yeah, Nucleotech.
Man, I really shouldn't have gone into this upside down pyramid,
Well,
but I did.
you are a man of science.
I am indeed. If I am anything, it is a man of science. Well, Kyle, this sounds like quite the predicament. What would you say is a terrible thing for me to stumble into at the end of a rough work week?
All right, Todd. So it's Friday afternoon. You're walking home or to the bar or wherever you walk after work. And things are extra hectic out on the street today. You heard there's a big foreign dignitary in town, but you didn't catch the name. So you're around the corner, and there he is. Your worst fears come to life. A massive assault on your home city. Because, Todd, when you turned that corner, you saw not only the foreign dignitary, but the foreign dignitary with the largest explosive device you have ever seen in your entire life. In fact, it's
Wait, hold on. How often are ambassadors also terrorists?
Kyle, I think I know who you're describing, and I have a question, but I want you to be done before I ask you this question.
All right. So, sorry, I gotta back up. I gotta correct myself. You saw the foreign dignitary who is the largest explosive device you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because it is King Bob-Omb. He is in town, and his intentions are unknown.
Kyle, I'm very aware of King Bob-Omb, classic. Question: do I know that he is a famous dignitary because of the comically large crown on his head? Is that what gives it away?
And the very regal mustache, yes.
I got it. Neither of those are, or at least not both of those, are popular in my home, Northwest Ohio. I'll let you guess which.
I have a very important question, and this might be directed at Kyle. Is King Bob-Omb's rule recognized? Is he an actual king like of a monarchy, or is he a king like Bowser is a king?
I don't know the foreign affairs of Mushroom Kingdom and King Bob-Omb and all that. I just know King Bob-Omb thinks he's a king, and he meets with people like he's a king. So we're going to treat him with some amount of respect.
I assume that King Bob-Omb at least lords over Bob-Omb Battlefield. Like, if nothing else in the Mushroom Kingdom, he is
an incorporated territory that he oversees.
Wait, but if he lords over a battlefield, shouldn't he be a general?
Well,
Andrew.
Yeah, I guess. But, like, my question, and I think the question that raises is Bob-Omb Battlefield a sovereign nation? And I don't know the answer to that question.
It will be after King Bob-Omb wins the revolution.
My favorite part about what you said, Kyle, is at the end when you were like, and his intentions are unknown. Because I can just imagine like CNN and Fox and the like being like, we gotta figure out the Bob-Omb agenda. We don't know the Bob-Omb agenda.
We don't know the Bob-Omb agenda, Matt, and he's a giant explosive, so we better figure it out so he doesn't go off.
Does he have pointed shoes? Are those like all the art I'm looking at is either it's from Mario 64, so there aren't really like points. There's just flat sides,
just blobs.
But some of the like more artistic drawings and renderings,
Yeah, he's got like
clogs,
yeah.
Like Dutch clogs.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing, Todd, and he doesn't appreciate you making fun of it.
This is more asking than anything, but
So King Bob-Omb comes from Viking roots.
He's in the northern part of Europe.
Northern European, yeah.
Listen, idea for a new spin-off podcast. We just add context to Mario creatures that have none. We just do this.
No, I think you're just repitching our podcast.
That's fair.
That's just what
fine.
this show is.
All right, so Kyle, you've thrown me quite the curveball for a number of reasons. Matt, what are you bringing to the table here? What is the real life nightmare that you can bring?
All right, Todd. So imagine with me, if you will, you, Todd Thomas, that it is the end of an insanely long and arduous work week. You're feeling
impossible.
Exactly.
Unfathomable, Matt.
An experience Todd has never had.
You are feeling exactly how I assume we all feel right now as we sit here and record this podcast in real life. Now, imagine if you can, and this is the hard part, that it's a time in the universe where you can like travel and do things freely.
That's the hardest thing to imagine right
I know,
now.
But harken back to that time. So you decide after your long and arduous work week to take a little weekend trip to insert your favorite tourist beach here. You arrive at the water's edge, you put your ass in the water and your toes in the sand just as Zach Brown instructs.
Life is good today.
Life is good today. We're not cutting that. I edit this podcast. You close your eyes, inhale the smell of the water, let the cool breeze blow through your hair, the sun tan your skin, when suddenly you are mercilessly electrocuted. You are mercilessly electrocuted.
Terrible.
I expected more of a response.
Oh,
You're supposed to pee on it, Todd.
I did not expect this. It's unexpected. Many things so far have been, this included.
Todd, you are on the front lines when the Manta from Mario Sunshine descends upon insert your favorite tourist beach here. What fresh hell is this, and what have we done to deserve this terror?
Does anyone else crave orange soda when you hear the name of this boss?
I was going to say Phantom Manta is my favorite alt-rock band.
Yeah.
Matt,
I think
is this...
Phantom Manta is the best name for a Mario boss.
Yeah.
Period.
That's true.
Like, it's
That is
pretty
true.
great.
It's really
Objectively
good,
so.
yeah.
Is this the one from Sunshine?
Yes, this is the one from Sunshine, like I said, approximately 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I missed that part because I was too busy thinking about Zach Brown Band. Whoops.
Yeah, so this is the Phantom Manta, which is the Phantom Manta Ray from Super Mario Sunshine. Again, possibly the best name in Mario history.
So all of these are horrifying in their own different way. But a translucent flying manta that dumps electrifying goop on you en masse is a special kind of horrifying.
Yeah. Andrew's whole thing was like the lyrics to a Rush song, and Kyle's whole thing was like a Fox News 5 o'clock special, and my whole thing is basically a sci-fi original movie. So that's where we're at. It's effectively Ghost Shark, but it's a Phantom Manta Ray.
But again, you just pee on it and you're fine.
It's like a sci-fi original movie in that they didn't have the budget to draw the whole thing.
You could tell maybe I'm looking at the graphic for the Phantom Manta, and like maybe they were thinking about giving it a cool texture, and they're like, nah, see-through is what we're doing.
Right? What if the texture was just translucent peach?
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right, so yeah, those all sound like, obviously they were terrible when Mario dealt with them, but like us in real life seems extra terrible. Kind of something that we alluded to before, so my personal biggest nightmare is a 4 p.m. meeting scheduled on a Friday afternoon. That is
with
HR. With HR. Not even with anyone. Doesn't matter. Whatever. So, specifically, tell me, why is this boss that you've chosen, why is this the worst Mario boss that you could experience in real life? As in, your real life adult living life right now.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, Todd, much like yours and mine and everyone's very real life boss in real life, the most dangerous threat IMO that Knucklotech poses is, of course, the irreparable damages that he unwittingly causes with his snap decisions. Let me elaborate.
Please do.
I have spent. Wait, hold on, please. I have spent all week IRL dealing with the repercussions of my boss's snap decisions, and this feels a little close to home.
Bingo. So, Matt, let me tell you, in the same way that new and exciting SOP will empower everyone to, quote, own the decision-making process, Knucklotech's penchant for punching and smashing down in his icy chamber is literally reshaping the entire climate of the world above him. Now, Todd.
Yeah.
I
It's
know.
not that scary, Andrew. We don't have to worry about climate change for at least another, 10 or 20 years, right? So
Who's going to be around
Right.
then?
So funny you should mention that. So Todd, we all know that you follow politics here and now occasionally.
Yeah.
Now, needless to say, in the year of our Lord 2020, there are a lot of not awesome things that our overlords are doing right now. But I think we can all agree, as Kyle was alluding to, that climate change is the most feasible and far-reaching apocalyptic scenario that we are all inevitably hurtling towards. Now, today, you may hear these other guys speak of terrifying creatures or maybe psychological horrors, but is anything more frightening than the slow yet inevitable march to a second ice age, all thanks to the belligerent ignorance of your fellow man?
not if you ask about 40% of America.
Well,
Ding.
Todd, what more is anything more dangerous than willful ignorance?
No, okay. So I'm gonna say at this point, no. However, I'm saying that knowing that Kyle is about to talk about a 3-story tall bomb with a mustache. So like that says something.
That's all I got.
Oh no, it's pretty bad. That is actually very, very bad.
That's it. That's it. It's a very real and inevitable doom.
So wait, Knuckletech? Knucklotech?
Knucklotech.
Knuckletech sounds like a Nerf football upgrade. Like they
Sure does.
this football now has Knuckletech. So wait, I did not play Odyssey. I was one of the 5 people that didn't. So that's like Knucklotech can just change shit? Like that's what he does?
Okay, so Knucklotech is the defender protector of the wedding rings that Bowser steals for Peach's wedding or something.
Yeah,
I forgot that was the through
it.
line of that
Yep.
story.
And something he was activated by them stealing the rings, and he was throwing tempered tantrums down in his bongo ice lair. And Mario turns into a bullet bill and flies into his ice lair and then they have a fight, and I won't give away the ending, but something Knucklotech explodes and the ice age is thwarted
Gotcha.
because he was an ice avatar and now he doesn't exist and there's no giant spires of ice in the desert. So climate is saved. So that actually, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's all we have to do is travel underground and defeat the ice avatars.
Yeah, that's a lot less scary than this nebulous, unsolvable climate change we're facing.
Have we tried looking for various avatars of the world's worst environmental issues? Has anyone done that?
Yeah, maybe that was the answer all along.
All right, Kyle. So Andrew is putting me toe to toe at the end of my busy work week with climate change. What are you doing here? What's going on? Why is this extra bad?
Todd, this is extra bad. I mean, you just said it. It's a 3-story tall sentient bomb with emotions and desires and
But we don't know what the desires are.
We don't know the Bob-Omb agenda.
we don't know the Bob-Omb agenda.
The Fox News sticker, Duke of Bob-Omb Battlefield. What does he want?
Can he be neutralized? How big will the blast be?
It's like every sci-fi movie with aliens, but it's like the first 30 minutes where you just see it's just flashes of
grainy
news programs
news
saying
footage.
what do they want? Yeah.
Like half the world wants to do war. There's another half holding
Yeah,
signs
wants
that
to
are like,
make
we love
contact,
them. Yeah.
But it's real, and you're 2 blocks away from it because you didn't know it was there and just were walking home.
Yeah.
That's it, Todd. Like I said, climate change is 10, 20 years down the road. This
talking
Bob
now.
is 2 blocks away from you.
Also, he's a foreign diplomat, so he's got diplomatic immunity.
He's got diplomatic immunity. He's got a big mustache, and I don't know if you've met a lot of people who just have mustache Todds. They're usually perverts. And
They're okay.
so we're throwing that into the mix too.
Kyle, what you brought today has layers.
Yeah.
Like a number of them, and I can't really
Literally.
decide which one is the biggest concern early on. Is it the fact that it's a large bomb? Is it the fact that it's a diplomat? Is it the mustache? Because now you've got me asking mustache-related questions.
Exactly. It all factors in, Todd. You've got to be afraid of all 3 things. And the worst part is you don't know which one is the most dangerous yet, because they're all pretty terrifying.
It is truly the Triforce of fear.
Yes.
Bomb, a foreign diplomat situation you don't understand.
Diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, diplomatic immunity, large mustache.
Yeah.
I'm now imagining every like Legend of Zelda moment where Link has the Triforce, and only instead of like wisdom, power, courage, it's those things.
The goddess of mustache.
The goddess of diplomatic immunity.
Matt, so I'll before you tell me why yours is horrifying, I already think a flying manta ray is pretty horrifying. But
It
what
killed Steve Irwin.
This seems worse than that one.
Oh my god.
I guess what can somehow make this worse? Because like Kyle found a way to make his worse. Same with Andrew. What makes yours worse?
Oh, trust me, Todd. It gets so much worse. So first,
Listen,
let me say,
I'm a week away from vacation. I was on my vacation. What is ruining it?
So let me say that Phantom Manta does not fly per se. It glides on the ground. However, it can. God, how do I don't even know how to describe this. It can glide over any surface no matter the height or angle. So like it can go up a building, it can go over top of a thing. Like it just exists at whatever. If you were to look down on the earth from a bird's eye view, the Phantom Manta can travel over all that shit. Doesn't matter height or angle or anything. So this thing is omnipresent on insert your favorite tourist beach here. And I want to put you, Todd Thomas, in the situation where you were ass in water, toes in sand.
As Zach Brown instructed.
Life is good today.
Life was good today, and I want to tell you what happens. So, you have just been mercilessly electrocuted for seemingly no reason.
Well, that's terrible.
You jump up in your horror and discover that you are standing in the very center of a gigantic manta ray shaped shadow. You look up expecting to see some sort of alien ship or something, only to discover that there is nothing to cast this shadow. There is literally a 2D demon creature existing beneath your feet, but on top of every surface it passes over. You try to run, but you soon see that this seemingly massless being is leaving behind a trail of neon goo. You try to skid to a halt, but it's too late. You're already in its ooze, and you're shocked again. And literally, not like, shocked, like shocked, electrocuted shocked.
But not shock. It's a different type of shock.
It's a different
Mentally, you're
physical shock.
prepared for this, but you
Yeah.
get a physical shock.
Mentally,
Yes.
you're like,
yeah.
more guttural.
So dazed and confused, you stumble backwards. Somehow, the beachgoers lounging under umbrellas have been spared. You fall back onto one of the family's beach towels and knock over all of their White Claws. As the seltzer cascades onto the shadow monster, you feel a rumble, and to your absolute horror, the Phantom Manta splits in two, and your troubles have gotten much, much worse.
Matt, I have a question. It's very important.
Yes, Andrew.
In your example, in your story, you are implying that only Todd can see the shadow creatures?
No,
everyone
no.
else is just hanging out?
No, I am specifically saying that beachgoers under umbrellas.
He's referencing the game
Got it.
mechanics
Yeah,
of Phantom
got it.
Manta.
Because like
got
the thing of that level of Super Mario Sunshine is that there are like two huts and then a big palm tree, and if you stand under the huts, the Phantom Manta like goes on top of the huts.
It can't cast its shadow on you.
And in this reality, I was laying out, sunning my legs, my gams. I was getting a good high thigh tan.
Those candied gams.
Yeah, candied gams.
Yeah, so it gets much worse, Todd. It's split in two. Now you have two slightly smaller, but still terrifying and oozing Phantom Mantas.
Okay, but you said, but White Claws harm it in some way?
Oh,
And he's
we're
on
gonna
a
get
beach,
there.
So
Hold
there's
on.
a lot of White Claws around, so he's fine.
Kyle, don't spoil the third act reveal. Don't spoil the ending.
I guess what I suddenly realized with this premise, I hate that I have to solve these problems. I hate that this is
That's the
me.
world you built, Todd.
Yeah.
If you want to be Mario, you got to wear the big boy pants.
I guess
The big
put
boy
on-
overalls.
Put on the
That's right.
overalls. Well, hey guys, this all sounds pretty bad in different ways. Very different, very specific ways. So I gotta find a way to beat these things and go about my weekend. So tell me, in your game, how did Mario beat this thing before? And how, I guess, will I, this very real adult with very real bills and very real responsibilities and experiencing a very real quarter-life crisis, how will I beat this monster now?
Sure. So let's talk about Knucklo-Tech.
Let's talk
I'm ready
about
for
Knucklo-Tech.
that good Knucklo-Tech.
That's gonna be my autobiography. Let's talk about Knucklo-Tech.
It's you sitting in like you've got your leg up on a desk with your like elbow on the knee.
Yeah. So in Mario Odyssey, because you haven't played it, Todd,
No,
Mario
can't
is
spell
able
it, can't
to,
play it.
Yep. Mario is able to take down Knucklo-Tech by using Cappy to capture one of his jeweled hands. So hence the weak point. That's what you throw Cappy on one of the big jewels in the back of its hands, and you literally make so Mario transforms into hands to literally make Knucklo-Tech punch itself in the face 3 times.
What is this?
Yeah,
is
it's
this
super
real?
rad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
real.
real.
That's 100%
Alright.
real.
It's
Right.
it's an awesome boss fight, and it's like in my opinion, the best iteration of the head and hands boss fight because it is quite the trope. Now, of course, this is going to be a little harder for you since you don't have a sentient magic hat capable of possessing your enemies.
Seems like that's going to be an issue.
However, you are a man in corporate America. Therefore, you have a superpower that I would argue is better than even the strongest sentient magic hat. Todd, I would recommend that you use your God-given power of repeating someone else's idea back to them in a slightly different way as to make it your own.
That is the equivalent of punching someone with their own hands.
Exactly. Now, soon enough, those punches and slaps won't be coming at you from Knucklo-Tech. Rather, you'll be collaborating with Knucklo-Tech to leverage his inner strengths and capitalizing on synergies between your core competencies to meet the unmet need, which, as you will eventually explain to him, is Knucklo-Tech getting punched in the fucking face until he straight up explodes.
I really like what you're saying, and I think that I really need Knucklo-Tech to double click on that idea and really drill down into it, because I think we're really not just gonna go deep. We're gonna broaden it.
Do you think, out of character, just 1 second,
Yeah.
how much can we beat this dead horse
Oh,
as a foursome? Like,
Did you
ballpark it.
already say something about leveraging our core competencies? Because if you didn't, we need to say
literally
that.
Did yes,
Yeah, okay, I wanted to make sure.
like exactly verbatim. Yes.
Yeah, this feels bad here, because like that's what it is.
Todd left work, so he didn't have to deal with these things, and now you're
Well, you
this
know,
is
sometimes
after his
work follows you home.
after your 4 p.m. meeting, Todd. You've got a
Always-
5 p.m. meeting with Knucklo-Tech.
You know what they say, Kyle? Always be closing.
I just listen.
ABC.
I can't imagine in my real life, in the real world, like if I am the hero of my own story and I leave work one day and there's this horrifying monster or villain or whatever that only I have the ability to solve. And like that is I think as like a 10-year-old boy, my dream scenario of like, I am the hero of the world and I am the only one with the power to defeat this monster. But if
that power is corporate bullshit.
Right? if you were to come at me and be like, we need you to beat this monster and the only way you can do it is by writing the schedule, I would be so mad. Like,
You are the chosen one, and the only way to win is by doing Excel spreadsheets for the next 4.5 hours.
It's like when I used to daydream in second grade that I could get an A+ in second grade for being graded on having 100% clears in Yoshi's Island.
What are the odds that the solution to beating Knuckle-O-Tech is using the phrase "circle back" or the sentence "content is king"? Do you think those are important?
You want to make one of those fists circle back and hit him in the face.
The way that I like to imagine it is Todd's in this situation and he sees this big ice avatar. Oh, I'm gonna punch you, and Todd plays what I would call the Kyle Harper argument and say, "What if you don't?"
Is that my argument?
Yeah, it's got some 13 Dads energy.
I mean, it's that kind of same energy in that it's a clerical error that solves the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I see that you're planning on punching me a lot. What if we don't actually punch me at all?
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Hey, what if we just circle back these fists to your face?
that's my favorite Five-Finger Death Punch song. I got there.
Right. That feels right. That feels right.
Thanks.
All right, Kyle. King Bob-Omb's motives unknown. Mustache, lush, shoes,
Pointy.
What's going on now?
So Todd, the in-game way you beat King Bob-Omb is by throwing him 3 times.
Yeah.
After you throw him 3 times, he submits to your superior power and leaves you alone.
That's the diplomatic tango in Mario 64.
That is the diplomatic tango in Mario 64. So Todd, I know you're into functional high interval varied Arabic mass muscle confusion. So if you're feeling particularly yoked that day, you could try it. You could throw King Bob-Omb 3 times, win his respect, and probably get flown back to whatever country he is the sovereign king of.
It's Bob-Omb Battlefield.
Bob-Omb Battlefield.
Yeah.
That's you're right. We did establish that. But what I recommend, because he's a giant bomb whose desires and emotions you don't know, is just get out of there. Just run.
Just leave.
Just go home, get Shannon and Hercules, pack the car, and drive as far away as you can. Because that's going to be a big blast, and you got to get out of the blast radius.
Now, Kyle, are you saying that perhaps his motives are now known and they are not good? They're not on the up and up.
No, he could not blow up, but until he's out of town, probably just the best idea to steer clear.
One could argue that Bob-Omb's threat is really only dangerous once.
That's true. But
I
again,
mean,
you don't want to be caught in
one time.
that blast radius.
I mean, again, it's a confined, it's a limited space,
It's
and only
mutually
one
assured
time.
destruction. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But still, if you saw a nuclear bomb ticking down, you'd probably want to run away from it and not throw it 3 times.
Are you saying that King Bob-Omb has nuclear capabilities?
Let's go.
He's
There is not any uranium in the Mushroom Kingdom, nor in Bob-Omb Battlefield. This is conventional warfare, Kyle.
fine.
The Mushroom Kingdom's version of the Geneva Conventions would not allow for nuclear deterrence.
We will take the nuclear element out of the equation. It's still a good idea to get as far away from a 3-story tall bomb as you physically can, even if he can only blow up once and be done. I stand by my point.
I love as Kyle went nuclear material. Andrew goes, no, that's where we go too far. It's a sentient diplomatic bomb with a mustache and pointy shoes.
I can accept that he's full of gunpowder and sass, but I cannot accept that he's full of atomic materials.
Old-timey gunpowder.
Full of gunpowder and sass is a good red flag on Tinder to avoid.
Gunpowder and sass. I was thinking that sounds like a Texas strip club. That's what that sounds like.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I think I could try and outbro the diplomat, but I think just leaving probably is the answer.
You got that new car, Todd.
I'm just gonna drive away.
Pack it and drive away.
Go. It has so much space for it's a sports utility vehicle. All right, Matt. So like, what you've described to me is pretty horrifying. I was having a good time on the beach, and now I'm suddenly not having a good time on the beach. So how am I gonna go back to having a good time on the beach?
Before Matt goes, Todd, I would recommend not driving to this beach where Phantom Manta is. Drive away from both of those things.
Yeah.
Fair. Well, all three of these really involved me going to a place I should not have gone. The Upside Down Temple, the
There's
diplomatic.
no escaping the inhospitable environment created by the next ice age.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Todd, listen. We are going to correct your day at the beach. We are going to solve our Phantom Manta problem the same way that we beat all of our very real responsibilities, Todd. With alcohol.
Okay.
In Super Mario Sunshine, our red plummy boy was able to best the Phantom Manta by hosing it down with the flood. Now, as far as I'm aware, you don't have a sentient water gun backpack.
All out.
Honestly, you don't even strike me as the type of guy who brings a camelback to the beach.
Nah, it ain't me.
So you'll need to find a new way to douse this baddie in pressurized spicy water.
Spicy water.
Much like when Stacy told you she didn't want to go to formal with you, you're going to need all the White Claws you can find to take this beast down.
Because you're going to pee on it.
I
Kyle's
don't
really
know.
found his angle.
I don't know who keeps copying and pasting pee on it into my notes, but it's very
Kyle.
distracting.
It's Kyle.
It's definitely me.
So definitely stop it, because you are going to need all the White Claws you can get, and you're going to shake them and spray them like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and keep dividing the shadow until it's no more. Now, assuming that this is the same amalgamation of sorrows from Super Mario Sunshine, you'll have to liquidate 96 manta rays and clean up most of the goo to save the beach and your weekend vacation. So you better get drinking.
Couple things, Matt.
Yep, Todd.
One, the fact that you called White Claws pressurized spicy water is pretty
Am I
great.
wrong? Is it not?
No, it's right. You said 96 manta rays. Seems like a lot of manta rays.
Yeah, right? That's what I said when I read the wiki this afternoon.
A lot of manta rays. Approximately ballpark, how many manta rays does one White Claw destroy, evaporate, consume?
You're gonna want to get the Costco pack of White Claw.
Yeah, you need a variety pack size of claws to take down 96 manta rays. Because the thing is,
number 1 and number 2.
they keep getting smaller every time they divide. So you need less White Claws to finish off like the last 25 manta rays than to finish off the first 10. But you're gonna need a lot of claws, Todd.
Man, get your claws out. It's time for 96 manta rays. This went from like a one kind of bad to like a different kind of bad. Like what sounds like it could be a fun party for a little bit gets real bad real quick.
Is it the 96 manta rays?
It's well, like, so the manta ray is a really bad thing, and you're like, all right, hell yeah, I got to defeat it by like, consuming and dumping White Claws on. I don't know if I had to actually consume the White Claws, but I'm assuming for fun I'm consuming part of the White Claws. And so, 96 manta rays, a lot of White Claws. Like, for a while, the manta rays stopped becoming the biggest concern anymore, and it's just the volume of White Claw you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
But then you pee out
Pee
that
on
White
it.
Claw,
That's right, yeah.
and you get a reload.
And then, okay, at that point, sure, you can pee on it. I guess that solves the problem.
No, as I was describing it, I tried to get out of the trap I had set, because I realized if I talk about drinking a lot of White Claws, then Kyle gets to talk about how he wants to pee on Phantom Manta. And that wasn't what I meant to have happen here.
Well, that's what happened.
That's the trap you walked yourself
where
into,
we are
Todd.
now.
Huh. All right. Well, that's not how my beach vacations typically end up. But here we are anyway. All right. So before we go take a break, I want to hit you all with a super secret bonus question because you've given me 3 different kinds of bad things in real life. These are bad. These are bad things that Mario suddenly had to deal with. They're bad things that I suddenly have to deal with. And so we're going to steal from Mario again and bring it to real life. So the classic Mario games, they always ended with you beating the game, and then things suddenly got better until they ultimately were not, and that's where the sequel came in. However, the latest installments of Mario games have encouraged that you ultimately go back, you have to continue playing the game, and you have to collect a somewhat unfathomably high number of MacGuffins for a very small benefit. I don't know if it was cosmetic. I don't know what happens when you get all the moons. No one does. No one ever has.
You get a
And
picture.
so-
I did.
You get a picture.
So a huge number of MacGuffins to get a very small reward, right? So I want to take that concept into our real life. So here in the real world, what is the real life version of that? What is the terrible collectible that I guess I or you or we? I don't want it to be
It's
me.
you.
Oh,
It's you,
damn it.
Todd.
It's you.
I-
It's definitely
okay,
you.
sure. All right. Well, what is the terrible collectible that I need to gather a 100% completion on to get a small MacGuffin? And so we will have that answer when we get back from the break.
Hey everyone. Sorry if you were expecting the Wii Shop music. Lucky for you, there are like 1,500 covers on YouTube and Spotify and wherever else you stream music. I'm here today to tell you that we would like to fill this slot with something other than the Wii Shop music. We've sort of reached the point with this podcast that we would really love to take on a sponsor or two. And we're not looking for your quips or your lawnmowers or your purple mattresses, although I would very much like at least 2 of those 3 things. I'll let you decide which 2. We are looking for indie creators in the nerd space just like us. We are not trying to get rich off this show. We just want to help spread indie nerd culture around the globe. So if you are someone who makes dice, if you are an artist who takes commissions, if you have a video game or nerd or comic related brand, we would love to run an ad for you on the show. We've put together some sponsorship packages, and we've made sure to keep the price point low enough that people like us would be able to afford it. So if you have any interest in advertising with us, or you know someone who might, shoot us an email and get in touch at debatethiscast@gmail.com.
All right, and we're back. So I have asked my 3 friends who have painted this weird picture for me.
That's the right inflection.
I have asked them that in the real life world where we're talking about how horrible Mario things are, what would be the terrible MacGuffin collection that I would need to collect to 100% the run to get some very, very small benefit in the end? Andrew.
Okay, so we discussed that the inevitable threat, the ultimate threat to Nucleotech is the
I can't hear the name without being like, all right.
the impending second ice age. And so the best way to counteract global climate change, Todd being a leading man of science, a science man, if you will, decides to reduce his carbon emissions. And Todd will start by reducing his carbon emissions, just little things at first, right? Maybe you're going to recycle more. Maybe you're going to walk to work, or maybe you'll start, but then you'll kind of, maybe you'll start
combining
carpooling.
trips.
Yeah, start
carpooling.
combining. Yep, exactly. Maybe
Using
you'll start
public transit. Yeah.
maybe you'll start a ride share at work, right? Maybe you'll get some other people in on it.
I missed the
Into
part
it.
where this podcast just turned into brainstorming ways to make the United States better.
And
To make the United States more Europe.
Yeah.
You'll continue through your post game journey, as it were, and maybe you'll write to your congressperson. Maybe you'll speak on Capitol Hill about the impending doom. Maybe
You'll make a planter out of a milk jug.
you'll
Buy a low flow toilet.
You'll convince a major commercial farm to stop producing so much beef. God damn it. And so you've 100%ed reducing carbon emissions. And Todd, your reward is you have added 2 years to the lifespan of your world. So maybe instead of the Ice Age coming in 2050, it'll now come in 2052.
Oh my god, that's
Great job, Todd.
so depressing.
Thus solving the problem once and for all.
We did it. Pack it in, guys.
Good. So my collection is every possible green thing I can do to limit my carbon footprint while the rest of the world continues driving Hummers and giving the finger to the sky.
Driving the sky and giving Hummers. That's right.
Okay, well I don't need to hear that sentence ever again. Kyle.
So Todd, your collectible item to appease King Bob-Omb, is that what it is?
Whatever.
Sure.
Man, we're talking about 3-story sentient bombs that probably have an accent behind the mustache.
and are here on a diplomatic mission.
We've established that he is from northern European origin, so he probably does have an accent.
Yeah. So to your collectible here, King Bob-Omb here on a diplomatic mission, trying to garner support for his cause, handed out a bunch of flyers earlier that day. So you've got to go collect each and every one of those flyers and piece together what it is he is in town trying to garner support for. And when you collect all those flyers, you're going to find out he is in town trying to garner support to loosen child labor laws in his country.
So we finally found out King Bob-Omb's motives.
You will after you collect all these pamphlets.
It doesn't change the game at all, though, or this thing that we're doing.
No, sure doesn't. I still recommend you get in your car and drive your loved ones far, far away from there instead.
How does exploding help his cause? Is it like political theater?
It's as much as anything any politician does to help their cause. The threat of explosion is there.
Is King Bob-Omb's explosion just a filibuster?
It's a very aggressive filibuster.
A very quick filibuster.
Yes.
If you would have asked me, because you kind of did in question 1, what King Bob-Omb's motives were, wouldn't have guessed loosening the restrictions over child labor laws.
That's what it is. It'll help the economy.
All those little Bob-Ombs running around.
All those tiny little Bob-Omb hands stitching clothes.
Okay, Kyle. They don't have hands. Matt, your turn.
Well, Todd. So Super Mario Sunshine was one of the Mario 64 style Marios where there was an overworld and you jumped into another world to do one particular task to get a star. And there weren't a ton of collectibles, but there were ways to do the star run or the task better. So I'm not coming at you with a ton of things you need to collect, just a couple things you need to collect to get the best possible outcome when you get the star. And the reason that I'm telling you don't have to collect a bunch of things because there are only 10 flavors of White Claw. And all you got to do is make sure that you spray at least one of every flavor of White Claw, the 8 regular claws and the 2 White Claw 70s that whiteclaw.com told me exist today.
What are White Claw 70s?
I don't know. Reading from whiteclaw.com/flavors.
Sponsor us, White Claw.
White Claw Hard Seltzer 70 calories, 3.7% alcohol, 0% sugar per 12-ounce can. That's down from 100 calories in your average White Claw Hard Seltzer.
That's just smart.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But if you collect and
Please
spray...
pay us, White Claw.
Please. If you collect and spray all 10 flavors of White Claw, that off-duty cop on the beach is going to look the other way when you pee on it. He's not going to look when you pee on it, and you're not going to get busted for indecent exposure because, Todd, there ain't no laws when you're drinking claws.
White Claws.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
We got there.
We got there.
That felt... I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming.
You didn't know how we were going to get there.
Yeah, if you would have told me right at the beginning, hey, I'm going to talk about White Claws, I'm going to say there's no laws when drinking claws, I would have been like, yeah, obviously. But, I didn't see it coming.
It was like a true magician.
like a real snake in my boot situation.
It's always about the misdirect.
I gotta give Kyle some credit because in the break you guys got up to pee and I was like, Kyle, you gotta help me get there. I know where I'm going, but I don't know how to get there.
Well, these are all great collectibles, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate what you've done.
He says with 100% seriousness.
And a handful of child labor pamphlets.
I don't know why I had to collect so many to figure out what he was up to. Thought I could have figured it out after the first one, but here we are. All right, so before I make the decision of which one of these branching paths in my life I will choose this coming week, go ahead and give me one closing statement real quick about why what you've offered is the worst possible future.
Sure. So, I mean, I think the answer is pretty easy, and I cited it toward the beginning. You have heard several types of threats today, and I would argue that while the Bob-Omb threat is certainly terrifying, it is also isolated. It is in a limited location, and it happens only one time. You can simply hop in your car and drive away. Same thing with the Phantom Manta ray. You can just not go to that beach. Pretty much as easy as that. Not to mention that it would be completely thwarted by a light summer rain. The one thing that you can drive and drive all night, all day, all night. You're not going to escape the inhospitable environment that is the second ice age. All thanks to Nucleotech, the avatar of ice.
Kyle?
Todd, again, in your everyday life, which one of these is going to be the most immediately terrifying? A statue, a floating statue, scary, but maybe not necessarily immediately terrifying. A weird shadow on a beach that you go to once a year, again, confusing, not what you want to see on vacation, but not immediately terrifying. But you're walking home from work and you see a 3-story tall bomb with a mustache. You immediately know what that is, what your dangers are, and that you got to get out of there quick. And that's why I chose the most terrifying boss today.
It's good. It's Matt.
So, listen, Todd, we know from real life actual science that
I am a man of science, as Andrew said earlier.
As we've established.
As we have established, you are a man of science, and you know that just 100 companies contribute 71% of the carbon emissions in the world right now in 2020, which means even if you were to defeat Nucleotech, who is making ice in the desert, which probably isn't contributing to global warming, might be contributing to global cooling. I don't know. I'm not a man of science. I'm not a man of science.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that even
Everybody's grandpa, Matt. Just because we have winter doesn't mean that we don't have global warming.
Even if you defeat Nucleotech, you, Todd, will only help the world's carbon emissions fall by 29%, which is a lot, obviously. I mean, it'd be great if we could do that, but I'm just saying it's not the most horrifying. And, Todd, foreign diplomats probably used to come to America all the time. I don't know if they've been here much in the last 4 years, but they used to be in and out of this country all the time, and you never knew. You had no idea. So you
They
just
certainly weren't suicide bombing.
you just went the wrong way down the street. If you turned around, if you went the other direction, you would probably never know that a foreign diplomat came to the United States, even if he is a 3-story tall bomb with a mustache. I'm just saying. But, Todd, if you are on your one vacation a year, you have worked 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and you've slaved day in and day out, and you go to the beach for your one chance to get away, and a goddamn ghost stingray with electrical powers attacks the beach, it's gonna ruin everything. It's gonna ruin your whole year. You and your whole family have been looking forward to this vacation for months, and it got shut down by a 2-dimensional fish. And that's really bad and really horrifying in the real world. I rest my case.
You all have legitimately given me a hard decision to make with my 3 branching pathways that I get to choose BioShock 3 style. And so, I'm going to let you all throw some good vibes at each other while I decide what I'm going to do this weekend.
You know, boy howdy. I say this, I think I said this on the show before, but I think you can always tell our group, our little group's state of mind by the episode and the energy that we put out. And guys, this was a doozy of a banger.
It was a doozy of a banger.
A
for
doozy
sure.
of a banger. Kyle, Bob-Omb. Good work, my man. Good work. I want a Bourne Identity style movie where they are trying to, in quick cuts, figure out the motives behind this incredibly cartoony old prospector ass King Bob-Omb. The fact that he is a foreign dignitary is very funny to me. The fact that we spent 25 minutes discussing the sovereign nation of Bob-Omb Battlefield is also excellent. And I say thank you to all of those things. Matt, I told you originally that Phantom Manta was the right answer, and I still believe that that is the case, although arguments are different than answers.
Whoa, ouch, good vibes. Hold on.
That said, your argument was very funny, and I think it was an excellent take. I think there was a couple different takes you could have gone with that. I would have thought that you would have gone a little darker, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed the lighter edge that you gave here today, which was just drink and pee on it, which is very good. Phantom Manta is a really fun boss, and that was, as we were talking about, that was the first one that I thought of as well, because Sunshine's got some weird ass bosses.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to give you a criticism during the good vibes. It just happened because
It just slipped out.
The aforemented energy.
That was a
But
compliment sandwich, son
It
of a
was
bitch.
a compliment sandwich, and you have full immunity to give me a 2 positives and a negative if you need to.
So Andrew, there is nothing quite as terrifying as the existential dread that looms over us that is climate change and our ongoing struggle with it. So incorporating that into the answer today of horrible things Todd could encounter on the way home from work, like the existential threat of climate change is one of them that Todd very much could encounter on a normal day trip home from work. Good job. And Matt, like Andrew said, I think Phantom Manta is actually like the most legitimately horrifying creature you could encounter from the Mario universe in real life. And I thank you for giving me an opportunity to spam just pee on it in our notes while you were trying to read your answer.
I didn't ask for that energy today.
You did, Todd. You just didn't realize it.
Do you guys watch Portlandia? Have any of you guys seen
Yes.
Portlandia?
Yes. Put a bird on it.
Put a bird on it.
Put a bird on it.
I just kept hearing pee on it in
Yep.
the inflection of put a bird on it, and I was struggling to get through that prompt. Andrew, that was very good. My favorite 2 Mario games are Odyssey and Sunshine, and those were the 2 bosses, or like those were the 2 games that I started thinking of when I was trying to pick a boss. And the Odyssey boss that I had thought of was the pukey chef bird from the Luncheon Kingdom.
Oh yeah, Pukey
a good one.
Shepherd.
Yeah,
That is a good one.
but Knuckletech is very, very good, and I agree with you. I think that's one of the better boss fights in a Mario game. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a really good play on the Andros fight with a head and 2 hands.
Subverts expectations. As one would say.
It does indeed. Kyle, King Bob-Omb, man, what a quintessential Mario boss, and what a boss that, like, when I was looking at a list of Mario bosses today, I was like, King Bob-Omb, this big ass Bob-Omb, whatever. But to take that a step further and say 3-story bomb with a mustache, it really changes just a big Bob-Omb to something much more horrifying. And I think that's very, very good. And again, I owe you a lot more credit than I owe to Andrew, because Andrew said a mean thing about me, and you helped me take the long walk in the park to No Laws Drinking Claws, and I really appreciate that. So thank you specifically to you, Kyle.
You're welcome.
I accept that.
So I've come up with a decision here.
Oh.
And what I've decided is these are all 3 terrible things to deal with, in my mind, Friday at 5 p.m. Like these are which road did you turn down, which beach did you end up on, what did you want to deal with?
I'm now imagining you less terrified and more you like stuck in traffic and seeing Knuckle-Tech like up ahead, like an exit or two ahead, and you just put your head down on the steering wheel and sigh like, I just want to go home.
So I've looked at this as which one, could I or would I not be able to deal with at 5:30 p.m. on a Friday? And so I'm going to tell you first off, I think I can handle Knuckle-Tech, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I have been practicing for years, honing my skills of using useless buzzwords that don't actually mean anything, but sound great. And so knowing that was the solution, I am not scared to flex my micro-credentials and expand upon the pain point that we have here today with Knuckle-Tech. Although
credentials,
you like that?
Yeah.
Though I will say the climate change part is very real, though. But I do not have the energy for that at 5:30 p.m. on a Friday. But
Fair.
Please, everyone, do your part. The next one that I think I could handle at 5:30 p.m. is Phantom Manta, and I'm going to tell you why I can handle Phantom Manta. Phantom Manta, it might be able to outpace my liver, but it could not outpace my desire for a vacation right now.
But it
and I
can't
think I could
outpace
take
my
it.
spirit.
Yeah, I think I could take it. So that means the winner is King Bob-Omb, and I'm going to tell you why, Kyle. There's a lot of layers to that, and I don't think I think if suddenly dealing with that comes up, I don't have it in me to get through all of that in the way that it needs to be handled. There's too much with the 3-story bomb, the large mustache,
the child labor.
That was a curveball added in the fourth quarter. Didn't see it coming. And again, the whole is Bob-Omb Battlefield a sovereign nation? What do we need to worry about here?
They're actually fighting for their sovereignty. It's a very ugly
layers to that
debate.
Our ambassador has not briefed me with this meeting, and so I'm going in blind, and it's a bad situation. So yeah, that is certainly the worst thing that I could deal with in my real life: a 3-story sentient bomb with its own agenda. The Bob-Omb agenda. All right, so that's going to end it for today, I guess. Thanks for listening in to Debate This. Make sure to follow along with the argument on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Debate This Cast. And also, make sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/debatethiscast. We have a good time in our Patreon.
We should say we won't spoil what they are, but we've got 2 more commissioned flavor text episodes incoming later in the year. Which is really fun. We're excited. Truth be told, we did not expect to. This was a bluff that we did not think people were going to call us on. So that said, if you're interested in commissioning a flavor text, weird enough to say they're going fast.
Keep calling our bluff. Yeah,
keep calling our bluff. We are really interested and excited to look into weird shit and regurgitate them out to you to inject straight into your brainstem. So think of some crazy shit. Visit us on Patreon, and
we haven't turned one down yet.
Yep.
So see where that line is too.
Yep.
Tow it. That's the energy we want here in 2020.
Also, I should say, do we want to talk about our Monday night football?
Yeah,
we should talk about Monday Night Football.
Yeah, so every Monday night, we've been doing this around 8 p.m. EST.
Yeah.
That we log on to Debate This. Is it Debate This Cast on Twitch?
It is.
Yep.
Yeah, we log on.
Twitch.tv/debatethiscast.
Yep, and we are playing what we're calling Monday Night Football. Now, mind you, we're not actually playing football, but we are calling it Monday Night Football because no one else is playing any sort of Monday Night Football this year. And if they're telling you otherwise, they're liars. So since no one else is using that name or hashtag for the foreseeable future, we here at Debate This are playing, we're streaming games every Monday night and calling it Monday Night Football.
Until the NFL shuts us down.
Yeah, but hey, no news is good news, right? Or wait,
Yes.
how's that go? All press is good press. That's
All
what
press
I-
is
Yeah, there
good
you
press.
Yeah,
Man, give us the headline of them trying to sue us. Like, okay,
yeah,
nah.
fine. We'll start a new podcast. It'll be called Debate This too.
Yeah.
To expand on that, so far we have played Echo the Dolphin, Diablo 3, and Magic Arena. So just we're playing a wide range of games that haven't been sports games or closely related to football at all, but we're calling it Monday Night Football.
Maybe eventually we'll make people watch us be bad at Overwatch.
Yeah,
We could do
I would
that.
like that.
We're
Well, we
frustratingly
certainly
bad
could
at
do
Overwatch.
That is something that we scientifically could do.
So yeah, a number of ways to check us out and engage with us in these weird times. We are very online, so come get us. And with that said, until next time, I'm Todd Thomas.
I'm Andrew, Sonic 3, and Knucklotech Henderson.
Good.
I'm Kyle. What is the Bob-Omb agenda, Harper?
And I'm Matt. No bad days when you're peeing on Ray's coal.
God. We're saying thanks for debating with us, and you think we're wrong, then you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.
They're getting better.
The Bob-Omb agenda, Matt?
What is the Bob-Omb agenda?
Holy shit.
I could just imagine Tucker Carlson at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday.
With his
What is the Bob-Omb agenda?